What if I told you one of the largest forms of currency in the entire world were 1,000-pound stone discs, where the more people died on the journey to retrieve them, the more valuable they became? These large donut-shaped stones that can weigh up to 8,000 pounds, that's close to the weight of an Asian elephant, are known as rice stones, and they were carved out of the limestone here in Palau, but were shipped back to the island of Yap, nearly 500 kilometers away, around 280 miles. That's traveling the width of the state of Indiana in a canoe with stones weighing thousands of pounds 500 years before the invention of the compass. Rice stones were a form of currency. They were exchanged during marriage. They bought the loyalty of others. They could also be inherited. Oh, and they also paid for ransoms. But why would the people of Yap, known as the Yapese, risk making this dangerous voyage to this remote island to carve out stones in the first place? It turns out that the dangerous expedition was the entire point. The more difficult the journey, the more obstacles to overcome, the more people that died in their quest, actually made these stone coins more valuable. This is one of the locations where the Yapese people would come and quarry their stone, the rice stones. They would come and find the largest pieces in the caves, actually known as stalactites. They would hang from the ceiling, and this is a special rock to them. Once they were done cutting it from the top, then they would start to carve out the rice stones and then place them in the boat to take back to Yap Island. Somewhere on this mountainside is the entrance to the lost cave. We got some stonework right up in here. We got a lot of loose rubble. Usually that's a good sign of some sort of quarrying, some sort of stone cliff right here. Okay, this is getting a little too steep. Look what we got right through here. That, my friend, is a rice stone. Look at the size of the stone. But this one looks to be damaged. Started to break here and chip on the sides. So they abandoned the project. See down here. Started to get cracked. This one never made it to its destination. It stayed in its homeland, never making it to Yap Island. A wooden pole was put through the hole in the center of the stone so that laborers could carry the stone. It turns out that these stone coins are pretty similar to modern day currency. The stones don't actually even have to move from their location to transact an exchange in ownership, as long as the oral history of the stone is given over and everyone in the tribe is aware of it. Kinda similar to wiring money or online transactions of today. And while the value of currency can rise, they can also fall. One of the first examples of an economic bubble was in the Netherlands back in the 1600s with the tulip flower. This flower was new to the area and a majority of the people were new to money. The craze for this exotic flower was a symbol of wealth, and at its height, one tulip flower was worth in today's money around $257,000. That's like buying a house with one flower. In the end, tulips were oversold and eventually there weren't enough people to buy them. The owners of the tulips panicked and tried to unload all their tulips at once, flooding the market and crashing its value. Something similar as well happened with these rice stones. In the late 1800s, the Yapese were introduced to iron tools and access to Western shipping. These made harvesting the stones much easier. They became less valuable. And this is a perfect example of inflation. There was no more risk involved in getting these stones. They became worthless. Money is only worth what society values it. The rice stones lost their value while Western currency was being introduced, and the harvesting of the stones was eventually abandoned at the onslaught of World War II. Our money today is paper, and it's turning more digital with every day. If there was a worldwide catastrophe, would we revert back to more solid forms of currency? Perhaps even stones?